What's up, NBX?
Now that the partners video has set the tone for the discussion, Zack, it's all yours. Enjoy.
GM, everyone. How's everyone doing? Woo? Just one woo? So how's everyone doing?
Woo!
All right, GM. I'm Zack Deris. I'm the founder and CEO of ZDTS and strategic sales advisor to Cookie Free. Today we're joined by Zoltan Prokai by Skillful AI. Let's give him a round of applause. Nice. The energy's going up. We've also got Sharon, Sciammas, the founder of ChainGPT. Round of applause. Sciammas, thank you. And Ransu Salovaara from TokenBuilder.AI. Round of applause, let's go. Okay, fantastic. So the topic that we have today, AI and blockchain, intelligence of Web3 or another bubble. We're in a really interesting point in society right now. The past 5 years, we've seen the fastest technological growth from Web2 to Web3 to blockchain to crypto and all the buzzwords that I'm not going to bore you with. But now, with AI integrating with blockchain, the next decade is going to revolutionize technology for our future generations. But the biggest dilemma that we all face right now in a world where everything is absolutely fake, let's be honest, like you see bots and bots and bots everywhere. You see like AI influencers getting 20 million followers and engagements. Like you don't really know what's real. So you've got people like Gary Vaynerchuk educating Fortune 500 companies and creators on the fact that within the next 10 years, celebrities will be AI generated. Let's process that for a minute. Within 10 years, celebrities, your biggest celebrities that you see on the internet and on TV are going to be AI generated. You have projects like CreatorBid who are currently building a platform that helps businesses create these avatar personas of themselves on-chain to help them meet the demand. And AI agents are going to be powered by crypto to trade information and services. However, amongst the concern, we have proof that AI and blockchain is not a bubble and is truly the future of the internet. Crypto is so much more than tokens, meme coins, NFTs, and community. You have technology that is advancing society. One good example is MIT professors in America. They are currently encouraging the students to stop focusing on learning how to code and prioritize their education towards learning how to utilize AI. So rather than just having a general topic conversation today, I want you all to get first-hand information on 3 businesses that I've got beside me in terms of how they've implemented AI within their blockchain projects for future good. So to take it away, let's go to Sharon to begin with to give an overview of ChainGPT and how AI has had a positive impact on their business. Sharon.
Yes, sure. Thanks for the intro. So ChainGPT, basically, we develop AI products for blockchain users. And I think one of the struggles for blockchain is the adoption. So we develop different products using AI, how to scale the adoption. For example, NFT generator based on AI. So just with a prompt, you generate NFT, you can mint it, you can sell it. Another example is a smart contract generator and auditor. So basically, you don't need to be an engineer. Of course, some knowledge is required, but almost everyone can generate a smart contract and audit it. And those, like, we have other different kind of chatbots and products that how can we use AI to create mass adoption. That's our main focus. There's other things that we do. We have a launchpad where we do IDOs, also investment arm, but that's for the AI and blockchain. That's what we're developing. What was the second question?
It was how AI has had a positive impact on ChainGPT. So in what ways you guys have integrated AI within ChainGPT?
So I mean a couple of stuff. Of course, we're using it internally every time on daily basis. Our chatbot is integrated to thousands of Telegram channels and communities, helping them to create more adoption, engagement, automating what we call community management and information sharing inside the communities using AI. Another thing that we are using is news powered by AI. How do you get the right news in the right time? That's another function that we're using internally, but also externally to our customers. I think in general, because everybody knows ChatGPT, it's really easy to write a prompt and then get whatever you need in the Web3 space. And that's exactly what we're developing. Another application is Chrome extension for security. So we're using AI and algorithms to tell users, Web3 users, is the smart contract is legit, the website is legit. So it just simplified the whole experience from swapping to understand communities, news, generating content, etc., powered by AI, internally and externally with our users.
Fantastic. We'll touch more on that shortly. Let's move over to Ransu. If you want to just give everyone an overview in terms of what Token Builder is, why you built it, and how you've integrated AI within the business.
Yes, so Token Builder is a next generation tokenization and Web3 project platform. And I can say that it's a next generation because I was previously on this stage, I think 8 years ago, when I did the first, I was a CEO of the company that did the token market, that did the first generation ICO platform in Europe. That was then quite successful with over 30 ICOs and $300 million raised for those projects, including Civic Storage and then Crypto.com. So now, we see that there's really a demand for this kind of an advisory platform that uses partnerships and then uses AI massively to make it easier to issue tokens and do the lifecycle management, especially since the regulations are getting much more on the mainstream and very important now in Europe with the MiCA regulations. And we use AI then to make our work easier and scalable and make also then affordable services for our clients who are the token builders.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Let's move over to Zoltan, Skillful AI. What is Skillful AI and how have you guys implemented AI to have a positive impact on your business?
Okay, thanks. So just starting with a little bit of a backstory here. So all of us, I'm coming from an R&D background. The rest of the team is tech and research and development as well. And also, when all this AI thing came about in the mainstream, we started to use the tools ourselves. And then we realized that, as we are refining it, asking it to do certain things, it obviously learns and evolves. Like whatever I'm asking it, then I'm refining whatever the output is. But, it learns in a centralized way. So basically, I'm giving away my knowledge, essentially, whatever I have on the specific topic. So that's how the whole, that's what sparked the whole idea, essentially. And what Skillful AI is, it's going to be, it's a platform where you're going to be able to bring all your real-world skills into the AI realm, essentially. So you're going to be able to build AI agents and applications based on your niche-specific knowledge. So let's say you're an expert in marketing or any specific niche, basically would be able to come in, use a no-code drag-and-drop builder, even upload your data, train or refine a model, and basically incorporate it in an NFT, which acts as a key, and you would be able to monetize on it as well. And all the data, all that knowledge, what you had, it's retained for you, and then other people can use it, basically. So it's going to have a marketplace, and yeah, that's what the platform is going to be doing. Yeah.
Fantastic. So as I mentioned, guys, at the beginning of our panel, right, there is a lot of controversy going on right now with like lawsuits about like AI platforms who they're getting sued because they use copyright and stuff like that from other people, especially celebrities and influencers and stuff like that. You have platforms like Midjourney that's getting sued, OpenAI is getting sued. What do you guys think, and we'll just have an open discussion about this, what do you think that businesses like yourselves can do to prevent AI and blockchain being used for negative aspects? Let's start with Zoltan.
Yeah, well, really good question. So first of all, one thing that we can utilize this whole technology for, obviously, when it's utilized for the negative side, it can be used for the positive as well. So transparency and traceability is something that's very important that I think all of us are implementing here. For example, let's say an artist that's, I think, one of the biggest group that's concerned by Midjourney, for example, here. So for example, in our case, but I think it's relevant to the rest of the guys as well. If something is created on a platform, it can be traceable. Even the data that the actual model was trained on is traceable back to the source, actually. So that could be a way to prevent situations like this, for example.
I think it's a tough question because it's also regulation.
Yeah.
And I don't like there is limitation what a business can do to protect its IP. But if you see where the future is heading, and again, it depends on the business model, protecting the IP through blockchain and monetize it, it's going to be like, I think, the common standard. But again, it depends on regulation, depends on different business models. Like if you look at Spotify or YouTube, it's just easier, to give you 5 cents for 1,000 views. So you don't have the purchase power to fight against YouTube. So if you're a small business owner and you have an IP, musician, or even videos, how do you protect yourself? Naturally, I think more marketplaces that protect the users will emerge. Will help them to monetize their IP, to protect, to trace through blockchain and distribution of monetization through AI, for example. And probably they will attract more IP to their platform and fight against the other biggest companies. They have most of the data, the distribution channel. So we will see, but the regulation will need to step in, I believe, to help to fight this kind of agenda of stealing IP.
100%.
Yeah, I think you have to just move so fast that you kind of outsmart the competition and outsmart these platforms taking over your business. Because if it's that easy to take over your business, did you really have a value there? Like it's really hard now to just say that, oh, this is my knowledge, I share it, but it's my IP, and expect that nobody does otherwise. So I think that one thing is for us, because we're not artists or anything on that side, then for us it is that proprietary information that we collect from our partners and from our users, and put that together as on a vertical AIs. So vertical AI for us is the key of everything. We are not trying to build a LLM or any of that kind of systems. We build on top of those both closed source like OpenAI, funny enough, and then Mistral, for example. And that's important that we use these platforms and build our own data that only we have, and our vertical has to use for that.
Fantastic. So the next thing I want to discuss is how can blockchain facilitate the training of AI models in a decentralized manner? If you guys have any use cases that you want to share, or anything that you've seen in the industry in terms of how blockchain technology can facilitate the training and the deployment of AI models in a decentralized manner. Sharon?
I think it's already happening. I don't remember
Yeah.
the name of the companies, but basically you have marketplaces where you can buy agents or data sets, and through smart contracts there is a mechanism to monetize. So it's also for data, but also for the model itself. And as mentioned, I don't know if you guys know, 70% of the technology we are using, including your smartphone, car, and a washing machine, as open source technology. So open source technology has a huge potential to change industries. And I think the more companies like Facebook is doing right now, moving to open source AI, it will open up new business models for selling IP or data, agents and models. But I think we're just starting, and it's like maybe Facebook will force other companies to offer those kind of business models. And it already exists. I don't know how big it is. It's still in the beginning. But yeah, it's already started.
Zoltan, any thoughts?
So how can
So essentially how blockchain technology is able to help with, let me just find my question again. Yeah, how blockchain technology can facilitate the training and the deployment of AI models in a decentralized manner.
Yeah, well, in addition to the business models that Sharon mentioned, I think just the technology itself in terms of using all these characteristics that blockchain have in terms of immutability, decentralization, and all the rest, security as well. For example, like you would be able to ensure and trace back, the data a certain model was trained from. Like, for example, at the moment, it's really hard to know sometimes if the output or the answer that you are given from a certain model is true, let's say, because we don't have a way to trace it back or even have access to the data that it was trained on, for example. But with blockchain technology, like for example, with Nilion, it's one of the partners that I have. You don't even need to have access to the data, but you can kind of verify the validity there. So that's a very important aspect to this. One of the many, I guess.
Yeah, so we of course now already are doing that or when the platform launches, that we reward our users for exact this vertical AI data that we get in with our token, the TB.AI token. Of course, that's and that's an interesting topic on that sense, that as we know, they use now, like OpenAI uses the word token there for the certain phrases or key segments there on building those models, and how we have to then in the future pay for those through the API. And that is something that I think I have not seen anyone figuring it out yet, that how could we create, like, next, once again, the word next generation, but next generation AI-based utility tokens that could work there as this vertical information, instead of just using Bitcoin for paying for tokens, how could we use like a kind of a segment-specific utility tokens there? That interests me tremendously.
I want to add another thing. What's the advantage of using blockchain? Right. I think what's the problem, especially if we're talking about data. So AI is built by people. It's being fed by people with data, and there is biases, hallucination. We know all the problems, and you don't need to talk about AI. You just open your Facebook, Instagram feed. This is the data you're being presented by the algorithm to gain some profit. So there is a bias in the system already. And part of the bias is the data that we provide. So the way blockchain solves it, first you can monetize your personal data or any kind of data. That's one. That's a huge advantage if you compare it to traditional kind of Web2 applications. The second part is to verify the data, because AI is taking data or any algorithm to train, to create prediction, right? And if the data is biased, news, whatever it is, feed, or even financial data, then you create bias into the AI and you can destroy democracy. So blockchain basically can help to verify and trace and make the data safer if you compare it to, I don't know, any other data source. And that's solving a big problem. But again, what's the business model and who is going to monetize it? And as the distribution to bring IP users data to start doing it, because this habit doesn't exist yet. You're not selling your data. I'm not selling my data, like in a way that it's being monetized. So who's going to be the first mover, understand this distribution channels and start monetize?
You mentioned a very good point. You are the product. You are the product, you are the product, you are the product. Everyone thinks when it comes to social media specifically that there is an algorithm. You're posting content, and if your content is crafted in the right way, it's going to be seen by the masses, where in reality, the algorithm is human beings. We decide what we see. We are telling Instagram and Facebook and the LinkedIn platform daily what type of content we want to see. And then when you have people complaining about, oh, my content isn't performing, people aren't seeing the stuff that I'm putting out, it's because of the fact that you're trying to move away from what your audience bought into you in the first place, right? Just a quick show of hands in the audience. How many of you use AI on a daily basis within your business? Just raise your hand. I want to know how many people, because we've got a pretty full room. I think some people are not being honest here, right? So how many people use AI on a daily basis, right? Let's like get a show of hands. All right, cool. That makes a lot of sense. But how many of you use AI for content on social media? Okay, great. And at any point, if anyone in the audience has anything to add, I'm sure we can get a microphone over to you and you can ask some questions to the panelists. I've always come from the school of thought that between, I don't know, the inception of Web 2, let's call it, platforms like Facebook and Instagram before they got acquired, they were the really like super dominating parties. It was really hard to compete with these individuals. But thanks to Web3 and the technology that we all utilize, you have people who, let's be honest, they may have worked in customer service for their whole life, or they may have worked in a standard sales job. They educate themselves on Web3, they learn about this technology, and then you have hundreds of thousands of businesses every single year that are growing. They're becoming multimillionaires. They're actually building proper communities. And if we didn't have this AI technology, I'm scared to even think what the society would be like, right? And just to add a little bit of human touch to our conversation today, I hope you guys don't mind me throwing this out there, but if you didn't build Skillful AI, for example, Zoltan, right? If you didn't know about AI technology and blockchain, what do you think you would be doing right now?
Yeah, well, very good question. I'm well, fortunate enough to not have to think about it, first of all.
Yeah, for sure.
But now that I have to, well, probably I would be in the energy industry doing something where what I was previously spending several years in. I guess that's another passion of mine. In general, that's probably what I would be doing. But even there, it would be really hard to advance without AI at the moment.
100%. Let's go to Sharon.
Yeah, it's got kind of embedded in my life, so it's hard to imagine what it's like without it. But I've been in blockchain almost 3 years, so probably I will stay in blockchain because I believe in the promise of open source data distribution and what it can do for society, at least the promise. We're not utilizing it very well, but the future is very promising. So yeah, just seeing how we can use this technology to improve our daily life. That's probably also what brought me here. AI will just, okay, make sense, you know, because for us is using AI to create adoption. That's it. So how you embed stuff, it's not like necessarily I'm an AI person. I'm more looking for how can you take something and bring it to the market, right? Otherwise, can we solve a solution? Can we explain how it works? And just those two technologies have a lot in common, and they can help each other to scale, you know, technology and any application.
That's a very good point. Do you want to touch on this too?
Well, when I was a kid, I owned a mountain bike shop for many years.
Nice.
So probably I would go back to be fully like analogic, like on that sense, full on back on bikes or something. But I also worked now over the past years extensively on sustainability and coming up, you know, sustainability and blockchain. So if we leave now the blockchain out of it, sustainability and energy stuff is super interesting, and there's a lot to do, and microgrids and all that stuff. But once again, AI gonna be part of those games as well. So hard to say.
I love that. And I'll just touch on that too. I'm going to be talking about this in my keynote tomorrow, but I've always worked in sales. That's been my bread and butter. While all you guys were building your platforms and you're like super deep in tech, I was deep in day trading attention, right? Because as I mentioned earlier, we are all the product, and if you know how to help people with solutions that you have, you can make a better world. 2 years ago, I think about 2 years ago, me and my team were just like manually doing sales for our clients. Every single message, every single email, every single phone call. But right now, I would say we utilize anywhere from 7 to 12 AI tools daily to be able to fast track that sales process, from analyzing the customer's behavior, identifying who the customer is, identifying who's actually searching for you, right? 5 years ago, you couldn't do that stuff. You would have to prospect and cold call and all of this stuff. But now with AI, like, I'm almost scared to think what's going to happen in 5 years, because maybe we will be put out of a job if you don't learn how to master AI before it masters you. So one thing I want to talk about with you all is, what are some use cases that your customers specifically have found to make them buy into your products? Because we've got, I don't know, I can't count that well, but I guess we've got at least 100+ people here. You've got 3 incredible businesses here that are able to help you scale your operations. So take this opportunity to shamelessly plug yourselves and like really tell everyone some examples of why customers have chosen your platform and what solutions you've solved, what problems you've solved by giving them solutions. Let's go to Ransu.
Yeah, so I can start on that one because I think we have a very clear first, like a part of module on our platform, and that's the legal opinion builder, AI-based legal opinion. That is actually, now that we have built it, is already so good that I've gotten a green light from a couple lawyers that that's good enough for them to basically sign it off. And you know, all the builders here save thousands on that. And now we are working, especially make it to be compliant with MiCA regulations. And that's really based on good large language model there. And then, of course, all the EU's regulation documents that we can get hands of, all the legal opinions that have been previously and all that stuff. So I think it's very clear that these things that are becoming really important. It sounds boring, the compliance stuff, but this is a great example that we have already managed to execute on AI, with the AI.
Fantastic. Sharon, why do people use ChainGPT? Can you give some examples of problems that they've had and how you've been able to solve it?
So we have around between 1,000 and 150,000 monthly users.
Woo!
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, our operation, in different products, of course. I think the magic of AI that you don't know you use AI.
Yeah.
Right? Like you don't like, hey, I'm gonna like. So for example, take our Telegram bot. You are in a Telegram community with 2,100 people. You know, it's like pretty big. You have a question, and there is only 12 or 10 community managers. How do you get the right information at the right time? So you just ask, but you don't think, yeah, I'm interacting with an AI. Like I need to fetch information. I need to understand something about blockchain, about this community, about pricing, about the token, about legal. You just write it down. So I think it's natural. That's the revolution of ChatGPT that ChainGPT is doing. It's just I think 2 days ago, ChatGPT released their new model. It's more human. Right? You just have a conversation. You don't think about what's happening behind the scene. And I think that's also probably going to happen to blockchain. Nobody's going to say, hey, I'm working in blockchain. No, you have an application. So I think the 2 best examples is the AI news generator that Binance is using, for example. How do you present the right news updates to your audience? The second one is our chatbot that communities are embedding in Telegram or Discord that just helps you to scale your business without even thinking about it. You just install it, couple of tweaks, and then you can facilitate more conversations, more support. So this is like very daily kind of usage, very real, I will say, and it's conversational. You don't really think what's behind the scene. You just plug and play.
I think I need to integrate ChainGPT.
You have to.
Cool. Zoltan.
Yeah, so just a bit of difference between us and the 2 gentlemen that spoke before, that we are a bit younger, so we only have a few alpha products out with a few thousand users that are really helping us refining on why we are building the product, but we are on track and actually ahead of schedule with everything. And probably by we are only a few months away to actually release a no-code AI builder. But what's important to mention that we have hundreds of AI tools integrated into Skillful AI already as well, and can be used, compared, and we're also, building tools on top of this. And for example, what you mentioned, what you would be able to do, for example, if you're using like 6 or 7 tools or whatever the number it was, you would be able to just come in, obviously, just set them up the way you want them, and just create a unique assistant or agent for you that's utilizing all the tools that you want. So one thing about us, I think, that's not very common, is that we are not just building our own tools, we are also integrating everything that was to be integrated out there. So just not just AI tools, but even from like payment gateways, all the Web2 stuff, and everything that's possible. And this is what we are getting really good feedback on in general from the community, and there's lots of excitement. And it's going to be coming soon, probably a few months away. I hope my CTO is not going to throw a bottle at me from up there somewhere. But yeah, we are just a couple of months, 2-3 months away to show something for the audience on this.
So let's hope you don't get in trouble for saying that today.
I wanted another
let's
small use case: swapping, bridging, all the crypto shit that you need to move money from one point to another. Can I trust this party? Is it safe, this wallet, this website? All those questions can be solved with AI. So I think most of you, if you use AI, you start using ChatGPT instead of using Google search. Like if you need the real information, you need insights, even booking travels, you just write a prompt. So that's what I mean, adoption for Web3, because right now it's like somewhere there, it's complicated, it's risky, you don't know. If you use just a chatbot, you can do everything for you. You don't need to know what's behind the scene. I think this is revolutionizing the blockchain adoption. And that's what we're building, but there are a lot of other use cases.
I'm very grateful that the three of you have joined me here today. I've personally learned a lot, and we are running out of time in about 2.5 minutes. So I'm just going to say to the audience, if you do have any questions for these three gentlemen, feel free to find them outside. I do know that tomorrow, Zoltan and Ransu are going to be delivering a keynote speech. If you want to just take a moment to just talk about what you're going to be talking about tomorrow in about 10-15 seconds, just to like give people a reason to come through. Is that 3 p.m. yours or 3:15?
Yes, I'm 3 p.m. and I'm going to be telling how projects, the Web3 projects, can put their ducks in a row. So that's the whole, like get organized so that everything becomes easier than later, and also can plug in with the right partners, and of course the vertical AIs.
Get your ducks in a row, ladies and gentlemen. And Zoltan, can you tell us briefly what your keynote is about tomorrow?
Yeah. I don't remember. I'm just thinking about my time. I'm not sure because it was moved recently.
It's 3:15.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just right after you then. So I'm definitely going to be listening to that for sure, because it's something useful. First, we're going to be talking about how you can make this technology work for you safely in general. I don't want to give too much away, but yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Just a little hint. That's fantastic. And then at 3:30, I'm going to be delivering a keynote on how to leverage Web3 and AI tools to scale your sales and build your Web3 community. So, and also to anyone else, can we just get a show of hands? Who knows about Cookie Free? Does anyone know about the project Cookie Free? Raise your hand. Okay, cool. Well, look, I'll help you remember, right? That's the logo, all right? Tonight at 8 p.m., Cookie Free have got a side event with Soil. It's going to be awesome. Go to the NBX app, check out the side events, and go to sign up for that. There's about 150 people going to be there. It's at the Piano Bar in Warsaw, possibly one of the nicest bars, right? It's not very degen-y, but we're going to take some degen energy there, right? So that's all. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for our speakers. Woo!
And the moderator, Zack, Zoltan, Sharon, Ransu, thank you very much. And as we proceed to the next session, sponsor video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again.
Thank you.